Well, back again for another one. Well, I got that paint rack, so I needed something to put in it, didn't I? I've got a few, but mostly most of my paint stock is old Humbrol tins and stuff like that. So I've got a couple of these and some Humbrol ones in the similar packaging. Been quite impressed with the pigment, and the sets aren't. Well, I suppose they're cheaper than buying them individually, but you know, they're still £30 upwards. I managed to pick this one up. I think it was someone's unwanted gift. It was still sealed, so none of them have been used. I managed to get that for 26 quid delivered. And with buying a lot of these little 3D resin printed figures that aren't painted, I needed some more colours, you know, for clothing and such like. And flesh tones. I don't know whether there's anything suitable in there, but I did find another company called let me have a look on the paintwork. Hobby Workshop. So they stock quite a good range of manufacturers' paints. A lot of them I tried to find, you know, keep your eggs in one basket. You couldn't get everything I wanted in one place, which means multiple postage charges and things. I mean, I didn't get the glues I was after. I'm after some deluxe laser or card kit glue, and one of those Tamiya knives. Was not really overly impressed with the cheap Chinese knockoff. We'll see how it goes though. I'm going to sharpen the blades on it, but I think the main thing on that was the blades aren't very sharp. But yeah, back to the paint. I was looking for some stone and concrete effect, so I went for a couple of these. The Citadel one looks, don't know how well it will come out on camera under artificial light, but it looks a pretty good match for concrete. Obviously fairly fresh concrete, but I thought I'd go for that one for lintels and things like that on buildings, and then maybe obviously tone it down a little bit with some grey or black mixed in, just to drop it down a touch with some sort of various dark colours, leather browns, red browns. These accidentally ordered two, but never mind. Was a flesh tone, skin tone. I've got some others just to give you some variations on the models, but I mean, one of these will last absolutely ages. I'll probably never buy another one. I ended up with two, but then I can always use this to blend with something else to make a mortal colour or something. Brick red, the only one I've got before is just the old Humbrol stuff, which gets a bit samey, doesn't it? So various mixed, another leather brown, which is a useful rusty colour for tracks and sleeper grime. Again, German black, that's a fairly flat colour, again for weathering and such like. Burnt umber, you can never have enough burnt umber for anything and everything in mixing. Sand beige, again, it's another sort of mortary colour. I've seen a few guys do their old London North East antiques with this stuff to actually sort of give them a more varnished teak look. So I thought I'd give it a go, because I've got quite a few of the old London North Eastern rolling stock. So I bought one of those as well. And another variation on concrete. Quite a dark colour for concrete, but see what it comes out like on the brush. I'll do a little sample, maybe sort of put a dab of paint on each of these just to give you an idea of what it is when you're just sort of picking colours for the sake of the colour rather than what they say it's going to be like. Because I don't know, I've got a mixture of concrete on my property that sort of varies from the 50s up to the 90s was my last pour, I think. Well, anything visible anyway. None of it's that dark, at least you've got a bit of sort of grime and lichen growing on it. But yeah, it's all down to how you do it on the brush. And this one, which is an aged white. Probably could have done the same with a bit of cream mixed in or some black, but I like stuff that you know, you can just mix it in and use it for clothing or whatever. And obviously some of these will go in the airbrush as well. So yeah, that was sort of first run of paints to fill the rack. Nothing much has changed over there at the minute. It's a bit dark because I haven't got the overhead light on. I wanted to get my paint station in, but the problem is I've got my anti-static back there for doing bits and pieces which I can pull forward there, but that means if the paint station's there, it's sitting on the deck, that's in the way, so I've got to either put the mat out of the way. So I thought what I need is a monitor shelf, what you used to have for computers. So I've got one of those on the way, a nice little timber one with a little shelf and drawer thing in it for more and more storage of yet more modelling junk that you accumulate. So the mat should fit underneath the gap where a keyboard would go, and hopefully that will go on the back of the paint rack, and then that little paint station will go there as well. So they'll all be in one place to hand, and then when I am painting things like the buildings or whatever, I can just sort of have it to hand, whatever paint I need or mix up, and save me keep getting up and rummaging around in boxes and moving stuff out of the way to get to the tub with the paints in. Well, I said I wanted one. Not a high rolling model, but I think it cost me about 19-20 quid delivered, so, and it looks like it's just been used as a display model. It was only like just a little bit oxidation on the wheels where they've sat on a display track. There's no wear on the wheels as to going up and down rails. They are oxidised and a little bit dirty. I'm sort of running it in a bit now. It didn't sound that fast earlier, just before the camera. Only using a basic Hornby controller, so yeah, just about crawling. I have to see what it's like on my Gauge Master controllers, but it's just a probably 90s model, 80s, 90s, I guess. It's not DCC. It's not fitted or compatible. Well, it can be hardwired, which is what I will do. Just seen one on YouTube, exactly the same model, just you know, in a different locomotive company's livery. But yeah, she's quite clean and tidy, not a blemish on it that I've found so far. All the handrails are there. As I say, it's a basic one, so you know you're not got real grills and things, but you know, it's about on the level of what we were getting with Hornby. There's only one basic running light which stays on all the time. It's not directional. It looks like there is flare at the back, but I don't think. Use the cookie angle. Might be provision. If I can get one of my little boards in there to do front and rear switchable lights. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I've just got to find a nice little box for it, because it did come unboxed, which is probably why it was a little bit cheaper. But yeah, not disappointed with it. Yeah, the wheels are turning, or the motor is. Try the other way. Not quite as hesitant as it was, so it probably needs running in. And definitely a wheel clean, but yeah, there's oil everywhere on it. There's sort of blotches. I've got to give it a clean up. But yeah, first US loco on the fleet. Just checking this one off on the rolling road. It's a Kerno Limited or exclusive. Old Oak Common in Network South East. Running sweet as a nut on the cheap and cheerful, bloody awful Hornby power controller. It's on DC at the minute, obviously, with that. No chip in it. Just giving it a little test, make sure everything's okay while it sits in the box. Oh, right, get off the floor. But this one, oh no. Yes. What can we describe it as? A bleeding failure, a piece of crap, or some other word I'd like to use. The valve gear, that little piece, I can't see where my finger is, there. I'll put it in a box because it's going back to Amazon. There's a slight misalignment between those little couplings. I did notice it when I first got it out of the box, that the way they bend the tab around and flatten it is slightly different to the other one. What happens is it's causing a misalignment with the conrod. As it comes round, it's hitting that one. It was quite a noticeable tap to start with, then it sort of bedded in. But you could see a little mark on there where the rivet here is catching the bar. And obviously when you're right slow, it's just enough resistance to stop the train from going round. In the other direction it weren't too bad, but in the other way it's sort of, you have the motor, the power controller on full tilt to get it to have enough to go through. So I thought, no, I'm not pissing about with it, I'm sending it back to Amazon. They can send me another one that works, or give me my chuffing money back and I'll buy another D16 which does work. So the last one I'll check will need me to rig up the DCC because it's sound fitted, but I have a little bit more faith in Brackman than I do Hornby. I think Hornby have had their day. They don't seem to be able to do anything right now apart from be crap.